Hi.
Hi.
You're back with me and Nika. Nika and I. You're back with me. You're back with I. You're back with Nika and me
Oh
to
boy.
talk. Nerd, grammar nerd. To finish up the Miasmata playthrough. We just synthesized the muscle control drug and found a note about one of the plants for Agent X in this outpost T1. The muscle emphasis drug lets you run faster, climb higher, or climb more steep hills, and also swim faster. So it's actually pretty useful.
Although there are no real steep hills on this side,
No, that's true.
we didn't really get into trouble a lot here.
No, and also ultimately climbing steep stuff just puts you in a difficult position of getting down again.
Exactly.
But running faster and swimming faster are certainly good. And it is actually quite noticeable, the difference. But anyway, from here we decided to continue on around the coast and head up to the next outpost, T2, I guess it is. And I was looking, I had an absolute brain freeze here, and I'm reading the compass and I'm convinced we're facing southwest, when in fact we're facing northwest. And I'm like, how can that be? We must be going up here. Why, what? And then the beast turns up, so I'm like, screw this noise. And run back to the hut just to make sure we're facing the right way. And sure enough, that's due south. So I continue on up here and figure, well, as long as we follow the coast around, we're not going to do too badly. Sure enough, the beast turns up again in a second. There it is. But now with the new drug, because we can swim so much more efficiently, I just sort of stick to the coast and outswim it. And eventually it gets bored. And then we get around here. You see, you can swim so much further. It makes me very happy. We get around here, and I just go out onto the promontory to try and find a couple of landmarks so that we can get a bead on where we are. And I figured we were there, and we just needed to head there to get to that outpost. But you wanted to make sure, which is probably wise. I've been wrong so many times before, and I'm going to be wrong so many times again.
We were having a bit of a hard time with the compass right here, so it was better to
Exactly.
be safe.
Better safe than sorry. So, and here, in fact, the smartest thing to do would have been to carry on around the coast to come to that outpost. But as it is, I follow this path, and just here is the hut.
But not
So,
the that we thought.
this is we're still on the right hut.
All right, never mind.
It's the next one that proves a
Many
bit
huts around here.
troublesome. So then we follow the path back, and I'm like, let's go along the coast. And you're like, yeah, but we don't have to go along the coast. We can stay high. I'm like, oh, you're so smart. So I blame you
One
for
of us
this.
has to be.
I blame you for this. There was the turning that we needed to take back there to head to the hut, but instead I'm just following the path and running down here. And I haven't looked at my compass once, and we're heading pretty far east, but there are some huts just up here, and we've actually made it to Outpost Tau proper rather than the kind of hut on the coast up there. But that's
Which
okay.
was really the only important place, but we didn't know that at the time.
Exactly. And there was a note there on the muscle emphasis drug, which we've just synthesized, so we don't need to worry about that. And there's a note here on the other part of Agent X. And that's in the northeast part of Outpost Tau, so we figure it's probably around there somewhere. And it's on the east side of trees, and it's colored blue. So that is Outpost Tau there. And we were trying to get to T2, but got a bit turned around. So now we figure we'll head up to T2 and see what's up there. In fact, no, that's a lie. I think at this point I was trying to get us to the other part of Outpost Tau. My directions in this were so bad. So having tried to get to T2
Lots of
initially, we
huts.
ended up at Tau. Now I'm like, yeah, let's carry to the other bit of Tau, and we end up at T2. Literally going the completely the opposite direction both times.
It's okay, we made it around.
We did, and there is Mr. the Beast. But he's not too much of a threat. So back down here, and then you'll see this turning here, this path that was actually quite well hidden. And around here to the hut. But yeah, there really was just nothing here. I don't know if we missed something or it was just a pointless hut. And it's raining, and there's rain coming through the roof, which disappointed me. I was very unimpressed by their build quality. So then we came back up here, and instead of following the path, I just sort of went a bit cross country to try and find the path again. But here it is. And then we just ran on through past the first set of huts, hoping that the path would take us to the second. And it did. It dropped us right here. Got a little bit thirsty, carried on around here, up here, and into this hut, which had a little note on, look at your hands, did I kill them? And I've got some interesting theories about that I might share in another video. But there are the 2 plants required for Agent X. There is one of the notes that we found in the previous hut. So it's right, or we need to find a river basin that's by a monkey statue. And I kind of figure it's there where all those ruins are, because that looks like a river. And I think you agreed, or maybe actually pointed it out that it was there, and I'm just taking the credit now.
No, I think that was all you. I just agreed.
Okay. And then there's not much in there, so I figure we'll head northeast, and there's some yellow mushrooms to make some more Herculean tonic just in case we need it. So I figure that's a good idea to synthesize that. And there's a bonfire so we can save. Although this game on the whole is pretty stable. I don't think we saw a lot of crashes.
No, we never crashed. We just died a lot.
Oh. We physically crashed. Anyway, there is
terrible ideas. That's all that really happened.
Exactly, lots of terrible ideas. Then we nearly fell off the stairs here, and figured we'd head northeast up these hills to try and look for basically look for this fungus. And we found a couple of medicine plants, the basic medicine and the advanced medicine plant, and then also a map plant at the top of this hill here, along with some prairie daisy things. Which we've already got one in storage, I think, so we didn't really need them. And at this point, you were saying, let's get the medicine, let's get the plants, let's hang on to them. And I was like, well, let's find the thing, because we'll be coming back this way. And then I can't find a decent way down. And I'm like, we must just be around here. That's where I am. I'm certain of it. And you persuaded me to take the medicine tonic, the map tonic, and it turns out we're nowhere near there.
Yeah. You don't like asking for directions, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Not the best. So I figured, or I think you prompted me to go and get the other map plant, having just taken the tonic. And then the beast turned up, but it's miles below us, so there was nothing particularly to worry about. There it is there. Hello, Mr. Beast.
He's just hanging out.
Sorry?
He's just hanging out there.
Yeah, he's just hanging out, checking it out, seeing the area. He can't make it up to us, so in the end it's getting a little bit late now. I can't find a decent way around. He won't disappear. So I figure we will just do what Nika said in the first place and head down here, grab the medicine plant, and head back to the hut for the night. Go manufacture the medicine that we're missing and wrap it all up. There we go. And then after we've had a nice sleep, just making some medicine and some tonic there, after we've had a sleep and it's a new day, that's when we can start to maybe find a more effective way around to where we should have been, to the northeast instead of the northwest. So back up here to have some water and have a sleep and double sleep. Wake up the next day and it's early morning, and I kind of figure, okay, well, let's see what we can do to get northeast here. That's where we are. Where we need to be is just a little bit up there. That's what I'm thinking. So let's aim for that ruin and see what happens. Because really at this point, we have no idea how far the northeast is, right?
Exactly. They just give us a direction.
This is where I nearly kill us. Way! Again. And then we're walking through here, and I'm just taking a bearing on where we are, and I'm thinking, well, let's just sort of stick up in here in amongst these trees. This is not really a clearing, but if we stay on the east side of the tree, we're going north at the moment, or northeast-ish, and then out of nowhere, and I've watched this back a couple of times, and I have no idea how I spotted that mushroom, but I did. And that is the chap that we're after. So then it's just a mad dash back to the hut, but I get a bit overeager, run and fall, but fortunately the mushroom is just nearby. And then heading up here, we take some medicine because we got a bit of fever, and go and grab some more medicine plant. And I think the beast has turned up as well, actually, which is why I was running.
Pretty genius, though, that we found that blue plant, because I have no idea where that came from.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I really don't. Although walking back, I actually saw some more.
Oh, well, interesting.
So we were in the right area, but given how hard it was to find. Anyway, that is the first part of Agent X. So then we synthesize another basic medicine. So we're back up to full medicine, an energy stimulant, a Herculean tonic, and I think, did we replace the map tonic? Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. And then I figure we're just going to run south. That seems to be the best bet.
Yeah,
from
we wanted to check out that those ruins.
exactly, find the ruins, follow the river, and go from there. But before we go south, I just wanted to try and map where we were. So I get in sight of the two huts we've just left there and just stick them eventually on the map. And we kind of connect the dots there, which is just going to make life a little bit easier. It lets me see the contour lines, and I can see there's nothing too scary. There's no viciously steep hills.
It's really tricky mapping around here. There weren't a lot of things that you could use, but there were a lot of those map tonics.
Yeah, yeah, which
So
is good.
if you even if you get lost, you could always drink some and replenish it.
Yeah. Anyway, we found this gorilla statue, which isn't a frog statue.
It kind of looks like a frog statue on the sketch.
Okay.
Like a giant frog.
Um, and then we figured we'd just follow the river around. And we got to this bit of water, and I'm like, that's not a river. That's kind of a pathetic river at best. You
Like a
can't
little
drink it, though, so maybe it is a
swamp.
river. But then we started swimming, and there were some bulrushes, and it seemed to be more of a proper river.
It's still
And
very
it,
swampy.
exactly. But I was deep in the river, and I was like, no, let's stick to the river. And you were like, well, surely we want to see what's in the river rather than just see the river. And so I got up high again, and that actually, begrudgingly, it makes sense. I hate to admit it. But then we got a bit of beast trauma. So I was like, well, let's just run away from the beast and wait till it disappears, and then we can continue on our journey. But I was like, let's hide behind here, but it's coming around. And I'm like, yeah, the beast can't swim. We'll be fine.
Oh my god. Such a bad idea.
Such a bad idea. And then eventually it disappears. So we're in good shape. No, not quite yet, though. Oh, yeah, that's right. It went behind here, and it wasn't doing anything. So I was just kind of waiting here, waiting for it to disappear, but it refused to. And so I'm
Yeah,
like,
the
well,
beast
I'm just going to
followed
walk.
us along the entire time here.
It pretty much did, right? I think we lost it briefly.
Very, very briefly.
Yeah, at this point it's just no, it hasn't gone yet. There, it's gone now. So we have a drink and carry on our merry way, and then about 10 seconds later it turns up. But I just wanted to make sure where we were, but really I could have just looked at the compass and headed north. But sure enough, we come up here north, and just through these bulrushes you will see up here, there is the fabled part of Agent X. And so I just wanted to get to the other side, and we quite clearly had to swim there. But you stand up here, and there's a sort of a raised area, and the beast has turned up. There it is. But I'm like, look, we're on a landmass in the middle. The beast can't swim. There's water all around us. We're going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about here. Oh my god, it's the beast. So the beast can quite clearly swim.
The beast is very good at it, perhaps better than we are.
Exactly. So then I'm like, well, look, we've got the fever. Things are not going well, but the hut's right nearby. We've got the plant. Let's just run and hope for the best. So sure enough, that's what we do. We get back to this statue, and I just play the dancing game with the beast again, keeping it on the wrong side of us. Take some medicine. And then all we've got to do is get to Outpost Tau to get to a medical facility so that we can synthesize the last part of the cure. So we headed north.
We just ran north.
Yeah. And fell down in a second, somewhat foolishly. But yeah, there.
And dropped the flower.
Dropped the flower, and I'm like, oh god, where's the flower? But there it is, just floating in the water. So that actually wasn't the end of the world. But we did catch the fever again. But at this point, it's okay. We're just about to make the cure, and we've got one medicine left. But the screen goes a bit wonky in a second. So I'm like, well, just in case there are any tricks or games, let's take the medicine just to be on the safe side. There we go. Just in case we're going to have to, run forever to get it. And by this outpost, there's a bunch of medical stuff, so we're not in too bad a shape for that. And then it's just a question of finding which damn hut has the laboratory in it, and it's this one. So grabbing the two parts of the agent, examining that one just to make super sure it's part of Agent X, and then combining them over here. And this allows us to make the cure. Were you happy when we did this? I was so happy when we finally got this cure. And there it is, the 3 test tubes dropping into the test tube holder. And then did a little magical syringe with some purpley yellowy liquid in it. And we go for the injection, and dun dun dun, we're cured.
Suddenly we think of washing our hands.
Exactly. So the plague's been cured, and if you have a look at your notebook under your stats, you will see, there we go, all your abilities are now high and your health is cured. So that is great news. All that's left to do is escape Eden and get to the boat landing. Now you'll remember before we found the map to the boat landing, it's way in the northwest, I think. So all we really need to do from here is, well, run northwest. Off to that island over there. Or, well, run west and then swim. And you may also remember there was a causeway. We didn't remember.
We didn't remember.
Not at all. So we went for a very long swim, but you'll see. It's basically a pretty simple run over here, and we didn't see the beast again, which was nice. But given that I'm pretty convinced the beast is a hallucination, I think that because we were cured, that's why we didn't see it.
Possibly. There was no point in it appearing right now anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But we are here, there is the boat landing, and I was like, maybe we should just get as close as we possibly can, because it's quite a long swim. So got up here, and then just swam from there, and I've sped this up to like times 32, I think. It takes forever, so really we should have just taken the causeway. That would have been the smart move.
If we remembered it, yes.
Exactly. But then heading through here, you just walk along this path, and a little yacht appears in the distance. There. Da-dum. And there's a little hammock with a copy of Paradise Lost by Milton on it, and a candle to save your game.
Which is a really good book, but I don't understand why you try to read it at this particular point.
I was just wondering if I could interact with it in some way, and it would have a secret message in it. But then we head up the boat, and then the credits play, but I will put the credits in the next video. So that's your lot for now. Lots of love. Bye!
Bye!